Have you ever met someone who could destroy a whole hotel kitchen with just their pride and jealousy? Let me tell you the story of Linda, the chef who walked into Grand Felicity Hotel like a queen but left in disgrace before the eyes of everyone. I had worked at Grand Felicity Hotel for 3 years and had never seen anything like her. Linda marched in on a Monday morning, handbag swinging, her chin raised like a queen entering her palace. The kitchen was already buzzing with the usual breakfast rush. We barely had time to glance at the new head chef before she began moving pots and barking instructions. "So, you all cannot greet, eh?" she said harshly. We all turned to her and said good morning, but she just waved us off. "Who placed this knife here? Are you people blind?" she snapped, snatching Clara's favorite knife. Clara blinked, startled. "Excuse me, ma, that's your knife?" "Please," Linda cut her off. "I've been cooking for celebrities before you even learned to fry eggs." The kitchen went quiet. Even the boiling soup seemed to stop bubbling. As she strutted to the pantry, we exchanged nervous looks. Bisi whispered, Trouble has come to our peaceful kitchen." Oh, Linda's arrogance only grew. She criticized everything. Nothing was good in her eyes. If Ada's egusi soup got praise, she would say, they liked it because they don't know good food. When a guest complimented Clara's jollof rice, Linda muttered loud enough for all to hear, "Hey, anyone can make jollof rice." She treated waiters like servants. "Do you even know how to hold a tray?" She snapped at Chike, making him blush in front of a crowd. She made Nancy cry for misplacing a spoon. One evening after service, we gathered by the staff lockers, complaining quietly. "Why does she hate everyone?" Bisi sighed. "She acts like she's the only person who can cook," I said. "Always feeling high and mighty, that one," Miracle said. None of us knew just how far her pride would drag the hotel. Linda became the snake in the grass. She would watch for mistakes, then twist them into lies for the manager. One day, Nancy shared leftover bread with her cousin outside. By evening, Linda had reported this to the manager. "Sir, Nancy stole hotel food and sold it to an outsider for extra cash." Nancy almost lost her job, but she was let off with a query. When the assistant manager, Mr. Efe, praised Bisi for her soups, Linda's jealousy burned. That same day, she whispered to the manager, "Sir, Bisi is lazy. I saw her sleeping on duty this morning." It was a lie, but Bisi received a warning. Some of us wondered if Linda used juju to confuse the management into believing her lies. This could be true because she made sure the manager doesn't listen to any excuses from any staff she reports. Trust vanished among us. People stopped chatting freely, afraid their words would reach Linda's sharp tongue. She smiled sweetly whenever the manager was around, but her gossip tore the staffs apart. At first, the changes were small: burnt stew, a bland sauce, half-done rice, too much salty food. Guests muttered quietly, and Linda dismissed complaints as ignorant taste buds. But soon, the food became worse. The famous pepper soup tasted watered down, and the fried plantain arrived cold and soggy. One night, a guest slammed his fork on the table. "This is not the Grand Felicity standard," he shouted. The waiter was so embarrassed, he apologized and hurried to the kitchen. Linda just shrugged. "He should eat somewhere else if he doesn't appreciate my skills." I am sure he did not brush his mouth well. By the end of the month, customers did eat elsewhere. The restaurant that used to be full every night now had empty tables. The logged guests stopped buying hotel food. They would go outside to get food. The management frowned at the falling sales, but Linda acted unbothered, strutting through the kitchen like a queen. The general manager called a meeting. Sales are down. Our guests are complaining. What's happening? His voice was sharp, eyes scanning the room. I felt my heart race. Bessie opened her mouth, then quickly closed it.
Clara glanced at Linda and stayed silent. Linda leaned back, smirking. "Maybe the staff aren't trying hard enough, sir," she said sweetly, casting a fake concerned look around. Nobody dared to speak. We'd seen how she ruined anyone who crossed her. Weeks earlier, Peter, a waiter, had quietly hinted to the manager that Linda was unkind and rude to everyone. 2 days later, Peter was accused of theft after Linda claimed she saw him take wine from the storage. Peter lost his job. The rumor spread that Linda had powerful charms. Fear kept our lips sealed. The management wasn't fooled by our silence. After the meeting, they hatched a secret plan. Spies. They quietly hired new staff in every department to figure out where the problem is coming from. A calm, soft-spoken young man named Kunle joined the kitchen as an assistant. Linda mocked him from day one. "Stay out of my way, you this new boy," she snapped. Kunle pretended to be clumsy, dropping spoons and asking silly questions, but he watched Linda closely. He noted the nights she slipped containers into her bag, the time she replaced fresh beef with tough scraps, how she consistently cut customers' food whenever she's preparing an order, and how she saved the best ingredients for herself. One evening, he followed her quietly to the back storage. He watched as she sliced a guest's meat in half, tucked one piece into a container, and smacked. Kule's phone camera caught it all. Linda's greed grew bolder. She once swapped imported butter for cheap margarine, ruining the hotel's famous croissants. Guests sent plates back, grumbling. Another time, she sent out a nearly raw chicken, and the customer complained loudly in the lobby. Meanwhile, Kule shared the recordings with the manager, who was shocked. They decided to wait for the perfect moment during a big event, so her disgrace would be undeniable. Behind the scenes, we staff whispered among ourselves. The atmosphere was tense, but there was a small spark of hope. "Maybe her day is coming," Peter whispered to me one night. The special dinner night arrived. The hotel was packed. Diplomats, business moguls, even a popular singer. Linda was in her element, shouting orders. "Hurry up, don't embarrass me tonight," she yelled at everyone, especially Kule. Midway through service, the kitchen door swung open. The general manager entered with 2 security guards and department heads. "Linda," he said, his voice calm but firm, "your lies and all your antics ends tonight." Linda froze. Kule stepped forward and played the videos on a tablet, her stealing food, watering down sauces, and insulting guests. Gasps filled the room. The manager opened Linda's handbag. Inside were containers of the night's special steak. Linda's face drained of color. She wanted to defend herself. "Sir, I don't know where these things came from. Someone wants to frame me up for here. All these people,
they don't like me. Shut up, the manager said in anger. Are you trying to call me a fool? Is this not you in the video doing all manner of bad things? Linda could not talk. She just lowered her head in shame. We were all excited. Finally, this Linda of a woman has been exposed. Security escorted Linda through the restaurant. Conversation stopped. Guests turned their heads. Someone whispered, "That's the chef." Another man laughed bitterly. This woman wanted to bring down this hotel. Some diners clapped mockingly as Kate passed. She lowered her head, her pride shattered. At the entrance, she tried to speak. I was framed, but the evidence had spoken louder than her words. We, the staff, watched from the kitchen door, a mix of relief and quiet satisfaction. The woman who had bullied and tormented us was finally gone. The next morning, the kitchen felt light, almost cheerful. Clara hummed while turning her pot of stew. Bissie's soup filled the air with its rich aroma. Even the waiters laughed as they polished glasses. Guests returned, praising the food. This is the Grand Felicity taste we remember. Later, over evening tea, I and some of the staffs were having a discussion about Linda. I told them, Chef Linda's story is a lesson. Pride and dishonesty can make a person shine for a time, but truth always wins. They nodded thoughtfully. Grand Felicity Hotel returned to glory, and we never forgot the storm named Linda. We were finally free from her. What a relief! A crooked path may seem shorter, but it leads to a longer fall.